Moment. David, thank you very much for joining us. Listen, this seems to be you're going to do this, I'm going to do that. What do you make of this escalating, for now, technology war between America and China?
Well, I think you're right, Brian, that this is basically a game of tit for tat. Previously, the United States banned the exporting of high-end chips to China, as well as the machines that could make them, and banned the types of consultants and expertise who could help China make those chips themselves. We have basically banned Huawei and other companies from participating in our marketplaces and our telecom networks. And, our own government workers, many of them have TikTok banned from their phones, from their government issued phones. So we have taken steps like the one China is taking ourselves. And I would argue that we've taken actually much more dramatic steps. By comparison, the step that China just took to ban its government workers from using Apple phones, it seems like a relatively mild response compared to the steps we've taken. If China were to do something like ban Apple from participating in its market altogether, that would be a much more serious step. But as far as we know, that hasn't happened. It's not happening. Agreed
on all. And in fact, to your point, Huawei was banned in the U.S. and Canada years ago. You remember a Huawei executive, I think it was the chief financial officer, she was arrested in Canada. TikTok, to your point, banned on U.S. government devices in some states now as well. It won't be a popular question in the Beltway, but it might be in Beijing. I'll take the other side. Can you blame China for doing this?
Not really. We wouldn't want our government workers using Chinese devices, would we? We basically assume that if our workers are using TikTok or using a Huawei device, then it's just Chinese spyware. I don't know whether it is or isn't, but that's our belief. So I don't know why the Chinese government wouldn't have a similar belief about phones manufactured by a U.S. company. So to me, this is just part of tit for tat. I think that the actions of both sides are understandable, but I think, we could, be spared the outrage that's taking place here because, like I said, they're just doing what we've already done.
Well, I think the outrage, if we want to call it that, David, is because Apple is not just another company. As you know, it is the biggest company in the world. It is owned by thousands of mutual funds, millions of investors. It is the top 5 stock in a couple of hundred ETFs. In other words, it's got massive stock market weight. So even if you don't care about what Beijing is doing, as an investor, you're looking at this and thinking, could this hurt the overall market because of Apple's power?
Well, I think that it's symptomatic of just this larger relationship that we have now between the United States and China. You have geopolitics rather than economics are in the driver's seat. The truth is that neither side needs to do any of these things for economic reasons. They're doing them for geopolitical reasons. Both countries are now, and I think especially the United States, is concerned about the balance of power. Because of China's rapid rise, it is now capable of being a peer competitor to the United States. And the United States does not like having peer competitors. And so I think this is all part of a geopolitical game of tit for tat. I don't think that the actions that China's taken against Apple by itself are that significant. But if it leads to a escalatory spiral and it leads to the war games you're talking about, then that is the thing that I think investors should be concerned about.
I want to get to Elon.